Hello students, in today's video we are going to discuss about hybridization. This is the topic where most of the students feel fear of. They are not able to predict the hybridization or they are not able to predict the proper shape or the geometry of inorganic molecules. So in today's video we will be discussing some short tricks to find out the hybridization of the given element as well as the shape of the molecule. In a given molecule, hybridization is always of central atom. The central atom undergoes hybridization. Now I am giving you one formula how to calculate hybridization of central atom. We can add the bond pair and lone pair that a central atom will undergo. And depending on that answer of bond pair and lone pair, the sum of bond pair and lone pair, we will be able to decide what is the hybridization state of the given central atom. For example, if the answer is 2, then that means the central atom undergoes sp hybridization. If it is 3, then central atom shows sp2, 4, then sp3, 5, then sp3d, 6, sp3d2, and if the sum of bond pair and lone pair is 7, then the central atom undergoes sp3d3 hybridization. We can say dsp3 also. About that we'll be discussing in another videos. So using the sum of bond pair and lone pair and their answer, we'll be able to calculate the hybridization. Now how to calculate the shape of the molecule, how to predict the shape of the inorganic molecule. So let us remember certain numbers: 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, 0 and 5, 0. Now I will divide them. The first column, let us say it indicates the bond pair and second column indicates the lone pair. That means in this table I am going to discuss the shape of all those molecules which don't have any lone pair in them. Suppose there are 2 bond pair, then the molecule is linear. Suppose there are 3 bond pair, then the molecule is trigonal planar. If there is a 4 bond pair, then molecule exhibits tetrahedral geometry, and if 5 bond pair, then it exhibits trigonal bipyramidal. As well as if 6, 0, that means 6 bond pair and no lone pair, then it indicates square bipyramidal or octahedral geometry. Square, bipyramidal and octahedral means one and the same thing. That was all about if the molecule has no lone pair, but many molecules have lone pair. Then in that case, how to predict the shape of the given inorganic molecule? Again, we will use a table. Certain numbers I will write here: 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 4, 2 and 5, 1. So I will divide them. These will indicate the bond pair and these will indicate the lone pair. So if there are 2 bond pair and 1 lone pair, then the shape is bent. 2 bond pair, 2 lone pair, again the shape will be bent. 3 bond pair, 1 lone pair, in that case the shape will be trigonal pyramidal. If 3 bond pair and 2 lone pair, then it is a T-shaped molecule. 4 bond pair, 1 lone pair, molecule shows a seesaw geometry. If 4 bond pair and 2 lone pair, in that case the molecule shows square planar geometry, square planar shape. And 5 bond pair, 1 lone pair, in that case it will show square pyramidal shape. So if you remember the trick number 1, 2 and 3, these are 3 tricks. These 3 tables will help you to predict the shape of a given inorganic molecule. So let us solve some examples for this. Let us try to calculate the hybridization of carbon in CH4 and let us try to predict its shape. To know the sum of bond pair and lone pair, we must know the number of valence electron in carbon. There are 4 electrons in carbon atom. These 4 valence electron, each one form bond with hydrogen. So all bonds have been used. So there will be 4 bond pair and no lone pair will be left. So the sum of bond pair and lone pair is 4 and therefore in CH4 carbon undergoes sp3 hybridization. That is, it shows a tetrahedral shape with carbon occupying the central position and 4 hydrogen atom will occupy tetrahedral corners. Now we'll do this for ammonia. In ammonia, nitrogen undergoes hybridization. How many electrons, valence electrons are present in nitrogen? There are 5. Out of 5 electrons, 3 will form bond with hydrogen. That means in case of ammonia, there will be 3 bond pair and 1 lone pair will be there. So 3 bond pair and 1 lone pair. The sum of bond pair and lone pair is 4. That means nitrogen undergoes sp3 hybridization. You can see in this table. 4 in case of ammonia, we have 3 bond pair and 1 lone pair. Therefore, the shape is a trigonal pyramidal. Nitrogen and 3 hydrogen occupying the shape of a triangle and the lone pair will occupy the position of a pyramid. Now in case of H2O, in H2O oxygen undergoes hybridization. Let us calculate the number of valence electron in oxygen. There are 6 valence electron. In this 6 valence electron, 2 will form bond with hydrogen atom and 2 lone pairs will be left out. So we have 2 bond pair and 2 lone pair. Sum becoming 4 and therefore oxygen in water molecule shows sp3 hybridization. With 2 bond pair and 2 lone pair, it will show bent shape. That is, oxygen is attached to 2 hydrogen atoms and 2 lone pair will be among 2 different axes. So it will occupy a bent shape. Moving on to the next example, that is sulfur dioxide. In sulfur dioxide, obviously sulfur will undergo hybridization. Again, let us first calculate the number of valence electron in sulfur. They are 6. Now, out of these 6 valence electron, oxygen will use some electrons for forming bonds. Now, we have to remember one thing. Whenever there is oxygen, it uses 2 electrons to make a bond. Actually, oxygen forms a double bond. So, it will use 2 electrons to form a bond. So, out of 6 electrons present in SO2, 4 will be utilized by 2 oxygen atoms to make a bond. We can say 1 lone pair will be left out. So, how many bond pairs? 2. How many lone pair? 1. This is the lone pair. The sum becomes 3 and with sum becoming 3, sulfur undergoes sp2 hybridization. With 2 bond pair and 1 lone pair, sulfur dioxide will exhibit bent shape. So sulfur making double bonds with oxygen and 1 lone pair, this will form a bent shape. Remember, oxygen forms a double bond and you have to remember these 2 tables for predicting the shape as well as the hybridization of the given inorganic molecule. The next example is phosphorus pentachloride. In phosphorus pentachloride, phosphorus undergoes hybridization. The number of valence electrons in phosphorus, 5. each one will form bond with chlorine. So how many bond pairs? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. No lone pair is left out. The sum of bond pair and lone pair is 5. Therefore it undergoes sp3 dehybridization with 5 bond pair and lone pair. It will show trigonal bipyramidal geometry. Phosphorus occupying the central position, 2 chlorine at equatorial position and 3 chlorine in the form of a triangle. So this will form trigonal bipyramidal geometry. Moving on to the next example, it is of iodine pentafluoride IF5. Now in this compound, iodine undergoes hybridization. In iodine, there are 7 electrons in the outermost shell. Out of these 7 electrons, 5 will be utilized in making a bond. So how many bond pair and lone pair? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bond pair and there will be 1 lone pair. Therefore the sum will be 5 plus 1, that is a 6. So this indicates sp3d2 hybridization and it will show square bipyramidal geometry. Iodine being the central atom, 4 fluorine atom occupies the corners of the square and fluorine occupying the pyramidal position. Now the next is xenon tetrafluoride. In xenon tetrafluoride, xenon undergoes hybridization. Xenon being a noble gas will have 8 electrons in its outermost shell. Now out of these 8 electrons, 4 will form bond with fluorine atom. So 4 bond pair and 2 lone pair. So the sum becomes 6 and therefore it shows sp3d2 hybridization. With sp3d2 hybridization, again it will exhibit square planar shape. 4 fluorine atom occupying the corners of a square and 2 lone pairs occupying the axial positions. Next example, it is of XeO3, xenon trioxide. So xenon undergoes hybridization. In xenon there are 8 electrons in the outermost shell, and just now I have told you whenever oxygen makes some bond, it utilizes 2 electrons as it makes double bond. So one oxygen, another oxygen, and this is the third oxygen. So here I can say that 1, 2, 3 bond pair and 1 lone pair will be left out, giving the sum as 4, and therefore in XeO3 xenon undergoes sp3 hybridization. With 3 bond pair and 1 lone pair, it will exhibit trigonal pyramidal geometry. Xenon will form bonds with oxygen and the lone pair will occupy the pyramidal shape. The next example is of sulfur tetrafluoride. In sulfur tetrafluoride, sulfur undergoes hybridization. How many valence electrons are present in sulfur? 6. Out of these 6 electrons, 4 will form bond with fluorine atom. So how many bond pairs? 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 bond pair and 1 lone pair will be left out, the sum becoming 5. So it undergoes sp3 dehybridization. With 4 bond pair and 1 lone pair, it will exhibit seesaw geometry. This will be 1 lone pair and this exhibits seesaw geometry. Moving on to the next example, carbon dioxide. In carbon dioxide, carbon undergoes hybridization. How many valence electrons in carbon? There are 4 valence electrons in carbon atom. Oxygen, each oxygen will use 2 electron. So here there is no lone pair left out. Bond pair will be 2 and no lone pair left out. So the sum becoming 2. Therefore it undergoes sp hybridization. So we say in carbon dioxide, carbon undergoes sp hybridization and it shows linear shape. The next example is XeOF4. Again we'll begin with the number of valence electron. So out of 8 electrons present in the valence shell of xenon, 2 will be used by oxygen as it forms a double bond and 4 will be used by 4 different fluorine atoms. So 1 lone pair will be left out and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 bond pair. Sum becoming 6. So it undergoes sp3d2 hybridization, shape being square bipyramidal. Let us take example of certain cation and anion. The first example is sulfate. The number of valence electron in sulfate 6. But 2 minus charge. 2 minus charge means it must have accepted 2 electrons. Now, how it will react with oxygen? Each oxygen atom will be using 1 bond pair. So, there will be total 4 bond pairs. No lone pair is left out. So, sulfur undergoes sp3 hybridization in SO4 2 minus. Thus, it will show tetrahedral shape. The next example is of NH4 plus. Now there are 5 electrons in the outermost shell of nitrogen. But plus, that means 1 electron has been lost and therefore we will consider only 4 electrons of nitrogen. Each of them will form bond with hydrogen. So as we can see, 4 bond pairs and no lone pair left out. And therefore nitrogen undergoes sp3 hybridization, thus showing tetrahedral shape. Next is CO3 2 minus. Again we'll start with the valence electron. The number of valence electron in carbon atom, they are 4. But 2 minus charge, that means it has accepted 2 more electrons. Now 3 oxygen atom, they will use 2 electron each. So how many bond pairs? 1, 2 and 3. 3 bond pair, no lone pair left out. Since the sum is 3, carbon undergoes sp2 hybridization and it will show trigonal planar shape. So this is how using table number 1, 2 and 3 you people can easily predict the hybridization state of a given element in a given molecule, as well as you can easily predict the shape of a molecule, whether it contains the lone pair or whether it is without lone pair. That's all for the day. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.